along with Dick Vitale, and it's great to have you with us on ESPN. We're here for Duke at North Carolina, one of the great atmospheres in all of college basketball. A couple of outstanding teams and marquee players we get to see.
Well, two heavyweights right now, Mike. You got J.R. Reed going against Danny Ferry. Reed, a power, explosive player inside, has to dominate in the interior. He has tremendous moves around the basket. But then you talk about Duke, and they have Danny Ferry. He's had a little bit of a problem with his back, but he's the quintessential power forward. He's the premier player in America. Mr. Versatility. This is a real heavyweight matchup, Mike. Unbelievable.
When you go beyond the individuals, you've got a couple of front lines here that are the equal of anybody in the game.
I believe North Carolina has the premier front court in America. I'd rate Duke number 3 behind Duke. So their front courts will negate each other. That means the back court will be the key. Without Jeff Lebo, that puts a lot of pressure on a guy by the name of King Rice.
All right, and that is one of your keys, King Rice.
Yes, King Rice is going to have to handle the basketball against the pressure defensively exerted by Duke. Duke is going to really extend after him, put all kinds of pressure on him. On the other side, Phil Henderson, I believe, has to give him a good perimeter game, shooting the ball from the outside to give him some balance offensively. Mike, this is like that wild scene that we had down at Purdue. I can't hear you, partner.
It is something else. Cameron Indoor Stadium, undefeated Duke, number 1 against number 13 North Carolina. Let's get the starting lineups from public address announcer Art Chandler.
Your starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the University of North Carolina, a 6'7" sophomore from Nassau, the Bahamas, number 44, Rick Fox. At 6'4", and a junior from Stanton, Virginia, number 22, Kevin Madden. A junior at 6'9", from Virginia Beach, Virginia, number 34, J.R. Reed. At 6'1", and a sophomore from Binghamton, New York, number 21, King Rice. And at 6'6", and a senior from London, England, number 20, Steve Bucknall. Your head coach, Mr. Dean Smith. And now for your Blue Devils. At 6'3", and a senior from Mercer Island, Washington, number 14, Quinn Snyder. At 6'4", a junior from University Park, Illinois, number 3, Phil Henderson. Standing 6'10", and a freshman from Angola, New York, number 32, Christian Laettner. At 6'5", and a junior from Fayetteville, North Carolina, number 21, Robert Brickey. And at 6'10", and a senior from Bowie, Maryland, number 35, Danny Ferry. Your head coach, Mr. Mike Krzyzewski.
There is no place quite like it in all of college basketball. Duke playing host to arch rival North Carolina, back with a tip-off in just a moment. Stadium, Durham, North Carolina, home of the Blue Devils. And the missing ingredient tonight for North Carolina, Jeff Lebo. Not only their point guard, but their very dangerous outside shooter.
That's the one guy they could not afford to lose, like Syracuse with a Sherman Douglas. The pressure's on King Rice right now to deliver. Two great front courts. Carolina number 1 on my rating, Michigan number 2, Duke number 3.
Ferry throws it behind Brickey after Duke controlled the tap, first turnover of the ballgame, and that is something that Duke forces out of its opponents with a pressure defense. And as Dick said, the pressure is on number 21, King Rice. Quinn Snyder picks him up.
Carolina running their motion game, screen away.
Fox guarded by Ferry. Looking for a 5 count, almost got it.
North Carolina likes to pass and go away.
J.R. walked.
This crowd is amazing, Mike. This has got to be the most beautiful environment in all of college basketball because of 3 reasons. 1, the school spirit. 2, the competitiveness of their basketball team. And 3, the proximity of the fans. You can actually smell the sweat.
Snyder beats Bucknall to Danny Ferry. Earlier this year, 58 points against Miami. The most never scored by an ACC player. That's Bricky.
He's got a quick first step.
Fox the other way.
North Carolina likes the transition game after the score, out of the Boston Celtics. Right after the basket, they look to throw the long pass.
Henderson picked up by Fox. This is Quinn Snyder. Leitner couldn't handle the high pass.
The game is in his kid's hands. If he has a good game, they can beat Duke here.
JR. Follow inside, and that's Kevin Madden.
He is definitely one of the most improved players in America. Good offensive rebounder.
Snyder all the way under, back to Bricky. Ferry, who is a danger from outside. So is Henderson for three.
They need his offense.
Excuse me, right on the line, Dick. That's only two, and we're tied at 4.
They need his efficiency from the perimeter to have better balance between their baseline game and their perimeter game.
Henderson, a role player a year ago, now a starter and shooting much better than he did last season.
Christian Leitner getting the test of playing J.R. Reed.
Keep an eye on Leitner. He's gotten in some foul trouble, and here is a holding foul after the steal.
Player on the perimeter.
Ferry alone. Here comes King Rice on the break. 2-on-2. Nice pass off to Bucknall. Missed his shot. The follow and a foul.
King Rice made a really good decision right there. They come up empty in terms of scoring. But take a look at Rice right now. He does what a point guard's supposed to do. Pulls up the foul line, kicks it off. Sort of nonchalant it in right there, Mr. Bucknall.
Foul is on Ferry, his first. Both teams with one team foul, and Scott Williams into the ballgame for the first time.
Danny did not practice yesterday or the day before. He did a little shooting around yesterday, but had a massage and also a jacuzzi, and told me tonight that the back feels better than it's felt in quite a while.
He is wearing a corset-type device, not to restrict his movement, but to keep him warm because of the spasms in his lower back. Fox hits the free throw. 80% free throw shooter.
What a career Danny Ferry has had. As we look at Rick Fox, he struggled last year at the free throw line.
Missed the second one, long rebound, tipped, and Ferry has it.
They're trying to deny the ball in the hands of Snyder. They don't want him to handle the basketball.
Snyder's averaging better than 7 assists a ballgame. That's Leitner, had it stuffed by Williams. And the foul on Leitner reaching in after the block.
Christian Leitner has become such a solid contributor since he was inserted in the starting lineup. They throw the ball down inside. There's Leitner with the great hands. He tries to head fake. Good defensive play. Excellent play by number 42.
Scott Williams right there with the stuff. There's Mike Krzyzewski.
Williams does a great job blocking shots. There's that 1-4 offense.
Carolina's players traditionally holding the ball over their head to make the pass. Rice dumps it low to Williams over Ferry.
Scott Williams with the good post move inside. They have such a tough tandem inside with Reed and Scott Williams. And then you throw on guys like Fox and Peter Chilcutt off the bench.
What a set of big guys. There's the trap. Knocked away from Ferry. Rice with Ferry back. Missed it, but JR tipped it in. J.R. Reed.
He's emotional tonight. I thought they were flat, Mike, against Virginia. Richard Morgan was scintillating with 39 big ones, but I thought Carolina felt that they could win that game anytime they wanted, and they were blown out.
9-4, North Carolina. Ferry trying to draw a foul from Reed, and he did. Great job by Danny Ferry because J.R. Reed was trying not to foul him, and Ferry kept pushing into him.
There's the entry into Ferry. There's Reed now. He's got hands all over him. He's bugging him. You're looking at the two premier big people in the ACC, maybe America. Danny Ferry is by far the MVP of the ACC.
He was a hound. He had some space eaters in this game.
He lost the starting job to Leitner.
Henderson from outside missed it. Reed with a rebound. Here comes Rice.
He's playing with a lot of confidence. If I were Dean Smith, I'd like the way he's handling the ball. Excellent pass.
Williams, nice move, and he got the roll.
Well, he gets the roll, he gets the score, but what about the entry? The tremendous bounce pass by King Rice.
In the last 2 games, King Rice had 1 assist. And without Lebo in there, he's going to have to carry the load from the point guard spot. Nice pass by Snyder to Abdelnaby. He's fouled by J.R. Reed. That's 2 on the big guy.
I thought he did a little shuffle inside, a little walk. Dean Smith's had a tradition of taking out a player with 2 fouls, and I guarantee he'll take J.R. Reed out of the game. There's Michelangelo, 28 years, an unbelievable record.
number 7 all-time. And there goes JR to the bench. John Wooden is the next man in his path goals. Leitner had a string of 14, so they've gotten some excellent shots, and they've got excellent players to take them, too.
They feel Abdelnaby's got to develop a little bit more intensity, a little bit more emotion about his game for him to win that job in the middle. They feel also that Leitner is going to be one of the great players to wear a Duke uniform.
Abdelnaby hits them both. Again, ahead of the pack, they get it to Bucknall.
So they like to swing the ball side to side. Duke's got to stop the reversal of the ball. See how they like to swing the ball and then get the good entry?
Madden got the bounce.
When you talk about improved players, you better take a look down at Champaign, Illinois at Kendall Gill. But this kid right here, Kevin Madden and Jason Williams out of St. John's also have to rank up there.
Snyder gets it back out to Ferry, and now Bricky. Snyder's shooting has been off this year because he has concentrated so much on playing the point. That foul will be on Rick Fox.
They have a lot of fouls they can give with their baseline people.
15:49 to go in the half. It's been all North Carolina. 13-6 Tar Heels.
2018, yeah, this is their first stern test against someone that can match them up along the baseline and negate their great size inside with Leitner and Ferry and Abdelnaby and John Smith and Bricky.
Duke has only had 1 rebound so far tonight. And there may be a walk. No, it's a blocking foul. Henderson got away with one as he was out of control going down the lane.
He's in double figures in his last 5 games. Henderson has got to give him the kind of scoring that can...
Another great defensive play inside. Carolina really fired up.
They are playing with emotion. Snyder made a great pass into Abdelnaby.
Duke is shooting only 2 of 6 from the floor. North Carolina 6 of 9 so far.
North Carolina likes to run the 1-4 offense to start, to initiate their offense.
Chilcutt is 32. He's in for the first time.
A lot of screening inside, trying to get some back cuts. Have to stop them from reversing the ball. They love to reverse the ball.
Don't look for King Rice to shoot the ball outside. He has a horrible percentage. He would rather penetrate. Shot clock is at 7.
He's strictly a point guard, a penetrator.
Off balance jumper. Are you kidding me?
Hey, thank you, Mike Patrick. You better do the announcing and forget doing the analyzing. He shot that ball, and he looked at you, and he said, "That's for you, Patrick."
Rice shooting 39% on the year, and he hits a fall-away off-balance runner in the lane. Battle for the rebound, and North Carolina getting everything tonight. Henderson with a reach-in foul.
Bill Ford told me earlier, the former great player for
career, averaging 4.5 points a game, shooting under 40% from three-point range, shooting only 28%. He may come into his own tonight.
Nice spurt, 11-2 spurt. North Carolina and Duke are both very explosive teams.
Tar Heels up 15-6. Bucknall. They love to go backdoor. That time it misfired, and Kubek into the ball game gets the loose one.
Great defensive play by Bricky. He opened up to the ball. They tried to get the backdoor cut. So well coached by Mike Krzyzewski defensively.
Abdelnaby
scored a basket.
No, he walked before the shot.
Yeah, they did get the
15-6 with 14:05 to go in the first half.
Look at the way they deny on the wings. Look at Kubek denying. They had him for a backdoor cut. Can't pick your dribble up, King.
Williams.
So they like to get the ball in the wings, Mike, to get the good 45-degree angle entry.
It's as patient an offense as you will ever see till they get the good shot just like that. Kevin Madden.
Madden, has he improved? Unbelievable.
Tremendously.
So much more consistent after his first 2 years.
And he can play inside at 6'4" because he's 230 and very strong. Snyder all the way. Basket counts, no whistle.
He has to think a little bit more offense. He doesn't even look at the basket. He's such a fierce competitor. Watch him play defense and make up for a lack of speed with his competitive drive. Here he is on the ball, number 14.
Isolated with Rice. And Snyder has done such a great job since being asked to take over the point. He was a shooting guard, much like Lebo for North Carolina. Tip follow won't go. Loose ball travel on Duke. Bricky went down and rolled over.
Boy, is there something special about the intrastate rivals. Louisville, Kentucky, Purdue, Indiana, North Carolina, and Duke. mean, we're getting paid for sitting here watching this.
You bet.
Unbelievable, Mike. Don't tell Steve Bornstein, our boss, because I'd do this for zilch.
I think he's listening, Dick.
Uh-oh. It's a college life. There's the field goal percentage. Year in and year out, North Carolina is always in the top 5 in America.
This is Jeff Denny, number 3, as both coaches go heavily to their benches.
See how to use the big guy. Then he'll slide inside. Now watch Reed. He'll go down in the post. Oh, did they bump on him? Did they lay a bump on Reed?
Chilcutt buries it. 19-8.
Got his first start against Syracuse when J.R. Reed was suspended last year as a freshman. 14 points, 13 rebounds to beat Syracuse.
Danny Ferry has been held scoreless so far. Gets the jumper here. He's on the board.
Can't let him shoot the open shot. He's got great touch.
And a foul away from the ball.
Ferry, superstar for North Carolina.
Kubek. He was coming into this game. He was 1 for 17. Unbelievable.
And he's an excellent shooter, if you want to believe that.
Fox with a miss. Ferry with a rebound. He looked long and then held it for Henderson.
Mike Kubek has all the mechanics of an excellent shooter. He psychologically has really struggled.
Fox dives and knocked it out of bounds. And Dick, I think that's the key. Once you make a couple of those, if you have the mechanics of a shooter, you can go on a tear.
You know, everybody says you got to have confidence. It's tough to have confidence when you miss 16 in a row. I get amazed with that. They tell a coach who loses 9 in a row. You have to coach with confidence. Confidence comes from success.
19-13. Duke has closed the gap to 6. The Blue Devils with the basketball. Henderson just inside the line.
If they get perimeter play out of Henderson, Kubek, and Snyder with the front court scoring they get out of Ferry and Leitner, they are unbelievable.
Duke has hit 7 straight. Davis lets it go. To North Carolina, and there is a timeout. Things in this ball game. Bucknall with 3 personal fouls, and Reed with 2. Coming up right after our broadcast, a special 1-hour edition of SportsCenter. We'll talk about all the college basketball that's going on, the Super Bowl, and of course all the trouble, the riots in Miami, really hurting that city in a week or a period of 2 weeks when they should be getting all the wonderful publicity that city would love to have. And we'll go through all of it. Tipped away, Leitner gets it out to Henderson. Leitner, 4 on 3.
Leitner really laying his body. He can shoot that shot.
Smith with a long-range miss. Out to Duke.
Christian Leitner defensively.
6'10", 225. He wants the ball.
There he is. He wants it in the lane.
Had to force that up. Got his own rebound. And Reed throwing the elbow and draws a foul.
He has to be... King Rice has done an excellent job handling the ball in their half-court offense.
He sure has, Dick. He and Davis in the backcourt right now. Reed, Williams, and Fox up front. Offensive foul on Fox. That time, Kubek drew the foul. That's 2 on Fox.
You should have seen the Duke bench just explode. He made the call right in front of the Duke bench. There's a look at Dean Smith. Bill Guthrie hired here.
Ball knocked out of bounds out to Duke. Duke already with Carolina having 7 fouls in the bonus situation. Duke has committed only 4 as a team with 10:46 to go in the half.
You know, I mentioned 9 and 18. Comes out of West Point, gets hired. Tom Butters, the AD, deserves the award as the MVP for the guts to hire him.
Rice on the run, 1 on 2. Nice decision, backed out of it.
Well, they always look for that trail man in their secondary phase of their running game.
3-second violation. Jerry Donahue with the call. This is a good officiating crew with Donahue, Larry Lembo, and Rick Hartzell. But the ACC lost several outstanding officials to the NBA and Tom Frame to retirement. So the ACC, which had great officiating crews, now has to work in some younger guys. Bricky for 3.
They say he's improved his perimeter game. He's a tremendous leaper, an explosive player around the basket. He's a very streaky shooter from the outside, Bricky. Here he is defensively now putting pressure on Rice. Good move by Coach Krzyzewski. He's putting Bricky on Rice for pressure.
And Bricky is probably their best defensive player.
Well, last year he shut down J.R. Reed. Oh, nice give and go. Slam, jam, bam, Scott Williams.
Great feed from Fox, and Williams has 6.
They run that high-low entry as well as any college team in the nation.
21-15.
Look at him denying.
Ferry, who has only one bucket, gets another.
He squares his body so well, fundamentally solid.
He's the leading scorer in the ACC, averaging nearly 23 points a game. Again, great passing, and Williams is free.
Scott Williams, very active without the basketball.
Williams, the leading scorer in the game right now. He has 8. Ferry had 3, passed it up. Now falls away from Reed, and Ferry.
Danny Ferry lighting it up now, the All-American. They screamed down in Arizona. Player of the Year, Sean Elliott. Down in Oklahoma, it's Stacey King. Over at Cameron, it's Danny Ferry. Who's my choice? Danny Ferry.
23-19. North Carolina by 4 over number 1 rated Duke. Ferry commits the foul, and Reed hit the shot.
Danny Ferry won the battle last year. I'll take out of the NBA these 5, and I'll challenge the Lakers to win the national championship. Kenny Smith, point guard. Michael Jordan, second guard. James Worthy and Perkins at the forwards. Brad Daugherty at the center. Bring Walter Davis off the bench.
It's not a bad group, is it?
Wow.
25-19. Carolina by 6.
They front down in the post. Really work hard trying to front in the lane.
Smith. Abdelnaby offensive rebound. Chilcutt rips it down. This is Denny.
Denny can shoot the ball. He's got to get some playing time with Lebo out of the lineup. Watch Denny. He's looking for the shot number 3.
Davis, who's been getting quite a bit of playing time as a freshman.
There's a screen by JR. Now he's going to try to slide inside.
Chilcutt, fall away. Reed with a follow.
See, he was up high, but he slid inside. Gets good offensive rebound position from the weak side.
Reed has 6, and North Carolina is having its own way inside.
They now rotate for the first time tonight into the straight 2-3 zone, North Carolina. Going to let him shoot the deep one.
Snyder with the outside shot won't go. Ball out of bounds. It's out to North Carolina. And they have...
That's a mismatch size-wise. JR knows it. Now he slides inside. Freeze it. See how he has inside position? There's no contest at all against Henderson. Henderson gets caught in a switching situation against the man right here. Herman Jr. Reed. J.R. Reed.
North Carolina shooting 65% from the floor. Duke 40 so far.
Nice backdoor cut.
Denny just couldn't get the roll after making a great move to get free. Smith tries the reverse layup after a tough catch.
Smith started as a sophomore. His minutes have depreciated each year. They feel he's got to be a better rebounder.
Knocked away by Smith. Loose ball. Look at the bodies. Everybody goes after.
Hey, where's Steve Spurrier? Get out here, Steve. Football coach. Come on, get out here.
Hope you be with him
up. Because Mr. Frieda, he would love to bury Indiana.
7-12 and counting. First half, North Carolina by 8. King Rice.
That's a 5-second call. They missed that, baby.
Great balance by Chilcutt. Caught it in the air and put it in. Just some tremendous passing by North Carolina.
Well, that was a 5-second call. I thought for sure King Rice made a major mistake for a point guard. He picked up his dribble.
29-19. North Carolina stretches it out again.
So well coached against the zone defense. Spread the floor.
Bricky hits the leaner.
He's got good legs, explosive leaper, an excellent 10, 12-foot shooter. There's North Carolina constantly looking for the skip pass and the dump down inside.
Chilcutt. Knocked out of bounds by Fox out to Duke.
If they can't reverse the ball, well, you know, King Rice came out of high school so highly acclaimed as we look at the good-looking Mr. Lebo from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, was a teammate of Billy Owens, the freshman up at Syracuse. See how they spread the court against the zone?
Snyder had the 3 and passed on it, then threw it away. 2-on-1.
Give it back.
Denny put it in.
Well, he made the great entry. Could have had the easy layup back to King Rice. Little simple give and go. Then he made the layup, but that was a tough shot as we look at Coach K.
31-21. Both coaches using the shuttle system for their players. Smith in the lane where he's most effective.
You know what they were doing there? They were playing a gimmick defense. They had King Rice chasing Danny Ferry. Ala Corciani playing against Tom Hammonds, a move by Jimmy Valvano.
Valvano has used that with great success this year. And here's a reach-in foul, and that will be called on Madden, his first.
He's a mystery to me. I watch him shoot. He's got great rotation, great follow-through, yet he struggled. He was 1 for 17 from three-point range.
Got the bounce on the free throw. Kubek with 4 points.
You know what's amazing when you watch Duke practice? The tremendous camaraderie and the love they seem to have for each other. The family approach to the game. And I guess you can say that about North Carolina as well.
Well, you sure can. A couple of class programs.
With a capital C.
31-25, and it's all led by class head coaches. You can't find better than Dean Smith and Mike Krzyzewski.
They spread the court. They go into their famed four corners, put the ball in Rice's hands. People used to wave the handkerchief when Mr. Ford used to handle that.
Why would they do this now, Dick, with 5:18 to go in the half?
Well, they're trying to get the good shot. They feel it's an offensive. It's not to delay. It's really an offensive set to get a good shot off guard penetration.
Rice, for all his woes shooting field goals, has been a very good free throw shooter, 76%.
You talk about a mystery player coming out of high school. In the McDonald's All-American game, he got 3 quick fouls on Chris Corchiani. It looked like Corchiani was no contest against him, and today Corchiani is a star. In fact, the backcourt of Corchiani and Rodney Monroe might be the best in America.
I agree with you. 33-25, 5:16 to go in the half. Other teams have had success laying off of King Rice.
They're going to go in a trap right here. They're looking for a trap on a wing. There's the diagonal pass.
Ricky. Low.
Michael Jordan style, baby. Rock and roll. Bring down the rafters.
Ricky has 6, and the lead is cut to 6. Reed. Nice soft touch, and he is fired up.
He is fired up. He catches the rock in deep, spins in the lane with the little J.
Reed has 8, as does Williams, the leading scorers on the court. Ricky leans into that one, didn't get it, but he's fouled.
He has just that little bit, and people have talked about a little bit of a Michael Jordan style doing shoe cuts, the Fox, the Bucknalls. They
guards.
can't do Reed and the backcourt.
Free throw by Bricky. 60% shooter. Preseason All-ACC choice. He was instrumental in those wins over North Carolina last year. Hit with 8 out of 8 field goals here. And blocked the final shot that Lebo took at the Smith Center to win that game.
And he did a great job on J.R. Reed defensively. They're rotating different people on King Rice. He's picking up his dribble too much.
Right down the lane went Davis.
They're carving that defense apart now, Mike, with simple backdoor cuts. Duke overextended defensively.
37-28, approaching the 4-minute mark in the first half.
Now they're in their 2-3 zone. There's that diagonal pass.
Kubek has been working on that move to pump fake and then go out, and Reed picks up his 3rd foul.
That was a silly foul. There's a look at the Michelangelo. Dean Smith going to make the substitution. Not an intelligent play right there by J.R. He knows he has 2 fouls. Danny Ferry hitting the offensive boards. Now watch Danny Ferry. Watch him trying to sneak in now for good offensive position. Look, he's trying to post. Now he's getting good inside position. There's Ferry. He has the good offensive position. Now watch J.R. Oh, that's not intelligent at all right here. Bumping him here.
Ferry at the line. He is such a complete player.
J.R. is too valuable to this basketball team to make a mistake like that. You have to have a court presence and a poise about you. Know when you have 2 fouls. He can't help Dean as an assistant coach.
They lost to Missouri with him out of the lineup. He missed the first 9 games with a stress fracture in his foot.
They're 4-2 against teams in the top 20. Lost to Missouri and then lost to Iowa with the Dustin Hoffman move by Roy Marble. Oh, look at this breakdown.
And a great save by Leitner because Scott Williams was wide open underneath. He got the foot out to kick it out of bounds. 3:49 left to go in the half. North Carolina continues to lead Duke.
That's the ball. You must see ball in your man at all times defensively.
If that was Walter Davis, we got a real story. It was Hubert.
Hubert Davis, that's right. Did I say Walter?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I did say Walter.
North Carolina has not tried a 3-point shot tonight. Understandable because Lebo is injured and because the power game has gone so well inside. Now, think of what Dean Smith is doing. He's got 3 guys with 3 fouls, and he wants to shorten his half.
He's shortening the game. He's putting the ball in King Rice's hands with an excellent penetrator, and he wants Duke to come out. Right now, Dean has got the edge here with that clock counting down.
And I think it's a great move by Duke not to go out after him, and Rice walks.
Well, they've had a tough time going out after him, Mike.
Duke trying to cut into a 7-point lead. 3:04 to go, first half. Ferry with a leader. And Carolina just dominates the board. A little unusual. They have been out-rebounded several times this year, even with that great front line.
See, they're playing off King Rice now. Snyder respects his penetration ability and certainly not his range as a shooter. They pass and go away. Notice every time they pass, they go away from the basketball. Pass and go away. There's Rice. Open up the lane for cutters. Always screening away from the ball.
Madden and Ferry with a good anticipation. Took it from Chilcutt.
I really believe that Danny's back wearing that corset has him a step slower than he normally is.
For three. Ricky tried for the spectacular jam and didn't get it.
He's got spectacular ability, Mike.
Boy, I would have brought the house down.
This house is down already.
The Snyder calls the play.
It's been down for about 6 days. I'm in here tense.
Leitner way outside. Contact underneath. Down to the floor. No whistle. And now we've got one.
Leitner has really struggled here in the first half. They got a 3-second violation.
They called Kubek for lead 2, which has generated so much emotion on both sides of that issue.
It will never, ever become a reality. It will be rescinded, guaranteed, and it should be. It's an absolute farce and ludicrous, and I applaud John Thompson. And here's King Rice again with the basketball, allowing the clock to count down.
And now Ferry goes out and they'll try to trap.
They're going to a half-court trap with the big guy at the point of it to get the ball out of his hands. So you want to reverse the ball diagonally, look diagonally. So you want to throw the ball over the top of that trap.
This is a great move by North Carolina. With 3 players already having 3 fouls, they are taking time off the clock.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame, Mike.
Williams, offensive board, another one.
That's why he's in the Hall of Fame, Dean Smith. 28 unbelievable years.
Last year at the Final Four, they did a coaches poll, and overwhelmingly, his peers picked him as the best college coach. 652
wins. If you rate him in every area, public relations, motivation, teaching.
Very good. Great pass from Leitner.
Good two-man play. They get the good 45-degree angle. Ferry, an excellent passer. He has a lot of Larry Bird in him, the way he passes the basketball.
39-32. A couple of years ago, he led this team in assists.
See, there's a triangle. North Carolina's got a triangle. Rice up top, 2 guys along the baseline. See how they play Rice in the middle? He wants the ball in the middle as a passer. They used to do that with Phil Ford. King Rice posted in the middle, and they have a triangle. 2 guys along the base.
Nice anticipation by Snyder.
Well, you want your players to anticipate. You do not want them to react. When you are reacting, you are playing a step behind the action.
Duke can play for the last shot. Now Rice comes out to pressure Snyder. Ferry for 3. Got it!
Oh, that's an Uncle Mo, baby.
And he was flattened, and they missed it.
That's an Uncle Mo, though. That's Mr. Momentum. That's a big, big bucket.
Half-court shot misses, and Danny Ferry gives Duke the momentum with a 3-point shot that cut the lead from 7 to 4. We're at halftime at Duke. North Carolina 39, Duke 35. Right now, we'll leave.
Well, when you see the numbers right there, what we're trying to show here, look at all the numbers in a congested area along the baseline. Duke predominantly gets all their shots inside. They get very little from the perimeter. The number 3 means, for example, that he shot a shot from deep. North Carolina also dominates in the lane. In the paint, North Carolina has 37 of their 39 points. But that doesn't shock me, Mike. Without Jeff Lebo, you expect them to score with their baseline strength. The number 1, I think, baseline in America.
We'll be back to start the second half at Cameron Indoor Stadium right after you listen to this. Then changed to 2. And very tough from that angle, but from there, it does look like he's behind the 3-point line. And then he was nailed and flattened. And there was no whistle on that play, but they do rule it a 2. So it's 39-34, and there are the numbers on Danny Ferry in the first half. And J.R. Reed has played with a lot of emotion. Got several of those rebounds early, and he has been playing with 3 personal fouls, as is Bucknall and Rick Fox. So that could be a problem down the stretch for North Carolina. Duke's basketball as we start the second half. Remember, the Blue Devils, one of 2 major college teams left undefeated. Snyder ahead to Leitner, and Reed knocked it out of bounds. Good defensive play. Snyder, Henderson. Got it.
That's what they need, Mike. They have to have more balance between their perimeter game. I've been talking about that almost all night, and their baseline game. And Henderson's the guy that's got to give them the offense out there.
Henderson just on that three-point line, so it was a 2-point shot. Fox tried the tough pass. Leitner couldn't save it.
North Carolina really has no way award.
If you don't do that, you won't play for either one of these programs.
Mike Krzyzewski played for a guy that made him hustle, the General Robert Montgomery Knight. He was a point guard at West Point under Knight.
Bucknall to Rice.
There's their patience. Swing the ball.
Fox lost it. Bricky, look out for this. He lost his balance on the way in, and they will call the foul on Rice. Bricky wanted the big jam and didn't.
Did you ever see Seattle Sloop?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, beautiful horse. I went down to Lexington to the horse farms, and he's there.
Bricky way off on that one.
See, that's why it was a good foul. Make him go to the free throw line instead of jamming it.
Only 1 out of 3 tonight from the line. Trying to cut into that 3-point lead.
He was recruited all year long by Wake Forest. They thought they had him, and then all of a sudden, Duke popped into the picture, and he's wearing a Duke Blue Devil uniform. They're back in a hunt, Mike.
Within a bucket.
Look at Bricky now playing against Rice. What a matchup. Mike Krzyzewski knows that Rice is a key, and he puts his best defender on him, the big guy.
They've really stepped up the defensive intensity a notch. Another turnover against Rice. Here comes Bricky again.
Dipsy-doo, Dunkaroo. Look at the wackos. They love it. Look at the wackos.
That's what he wanted the last time, and they weren't going to deny him this time. Ferry with a steal.
Get a T.O., Dean. Get a T.O., Dean.
Fox with a foul. That is 4 on Fox. And keep an eye on Ferry. Remember, he's turned into one of the great recruiters in the recent history of college basketball. As Ferry comes up short, he has 7 McDonald's All-Americans on this team, more than any other team in the country.
He's getting 2 more next year. A kid by the name of Bob Hurley, who I believe will step in immediately and play at the point. And another kid, Billy McCaffrey, the sweet shooting McCaffrey, about 6'3".
Ferry missed them both, and Duke missed an opportunity to take the lead.
And that could be the back that's bothering him because he's such an excellent free throw shooter.
Yes, he is. And he is not moving well.
This possession is big right here. They got to get something out of it.
Ferry fights for the rebound, couldn't get up to get it, but Bricky pulls it down, and Madden missed an easy shot inside.
Bricky is very impressive. He can guard people inside, outside, a little bit like Billy King did last year.
Duke has scored all 5 points in the second half. Here's a foul on Madden. Anderson buries one, and Duke takes a 41-39 lead.
They're doing a great job executing and really picked up the intensity defensively.
Ferry with another steal. Bricky.
Hey, he is pumped up. I'd get a timeout. Dean's waiting for the TV timeout.
Oh, he's up signaling timeout now. He needs it badly. And he's got the timeout before the steal. Duke with a tremendous burst has come from behind to take the lead over North Carolina, 43.
16-minute marks a TV timeout. I personally feel he should have gotten the timeout a little bit earlier because he's allowed momentum to really swing to the Duke side.
Reed. A little short. Williams had a hand on the rebound. Duke knocks it out of bounds off of Bricky.
I'm going to see now if he still has Bricky assigned to King Rice. Remember, Bricky's about 6'5.5". Now they go back to Snyder.
Chilcutt is in there for North Carolina. He's number 32. King Rice on the back door. Got the basket and draws the foul.
And Bricky's hurt. Bricky's hurt.
Bricky grabbed his right shoulder and went down.
21. King Rice.
They can't afford to lose Bricky because he's one of their real true athletes. As we watch Rice off the ball against Snyder now. Little backdoor cut. He catches Snyder staring at the ball. See what created the backdoor move for King Rice. Snyder was staring at the basketball. Quinn was looking at the ball and not watching it. There's the bounce pass. There's Bricky now coming over. This is tenacity defensively that provided the spark here
And that jam he had that really lit up the crowd and got them back in.
That was a big-time jam. That's
Yes, it was.
Michael.
He's had a few of those here. So Rice will go to the line.
Came out of Binghamton, New York, rated the premier point guard in high school basketball his senior year, Mr. Rice.
4 assists tonight, and Danny Ferry looks like he's moving a little better. Picked up that rebound. Ferry pump faking a long three-pointer. Smith loves the runner in the lane, and it taken away. Here comes Bucknall. It's a 3-on-2, now a 3-on-3. And the foul on Quinn Snyder. His great point guard. He was even better, I think, as a shooting guard before they made the switch.
Yeah,
he still has a devastating outside shot.
He's really a better second guard if he can get himself free and not be physically exhausted trying to bring the ball up and then look for a shot.
And the same kind of thing has happened to Quinn Snyder. He was a 2 guard.
He's made a good adjustment, and he's been a competitive leader since taking over for Tommy Amica. Didn't do a bad job. 2 of the last 3 years, this club's to the Final Four. Last year, he leads them to the Final Four.
Davis with 3 points, trying for his 4th. He's got it, and Carolina has tied the game at 43.
North Carolina hasn't gone into a lot of traps. I think they're trying to set one up here, or scramble it into a trap.
Henderson against King Rice.
Yeah, there's the trap.
Snyder, good pass, and Abdelnaby does not get the bounce. Reed with the outlet.
He's got
Davis.
He's got that Wes Unseld release. JR on the outlet pass. Good entry.
Williams wanted the ball, missed the shot, gets the tip. Davis inside. Williams tipped it in.
Scott Williams all pumped up from out of California. Player of the year out in California.
Williams, the leading scorer for North Carolina. He has a dozen, and he simply wouldn't quit underneath.
Danny Ferry laid a great screen in the backcourt.
Nice pass by Henderson. He hit Abdelnaby.
What's so impressive about both clubs, Mike, they're so unselfish, always looking for one another for the high percentage shot.
Knocked out of bounds by Henderson. If you look at North Carolina, a little shouting match.
Hey, that's better than Tyson and Bruno. That's a no contest. This is more like Tyson against Robin Gibbons. That's a real fight.
A lot of intensity between these teams, but a lot of respect, too. Bricky comes back in. And Abdelnaby will go out, and that's a good move by Mike Krzyzewski to get one of the participants in that shouting match out of there.
Mike's amazing. You look at his numbers. First year he was 17 and 11 here, then 10 and 17, 11 and 17. The last 5 years, 136 and 37. An amazing run by Mike Krzyzewski.
And the worst record he's had in the last 6 years is 23 and 8. That's the worst.
They're really trying to deny the ball out of Rice's hands. They got a hold.
Reach in foul on Henderson, his second.
The Bengals apart.
But not from Cincinnati. Reed really being slapped at by Smith. Got by him, and Smith picks up the foul.
They ought to post Reed against Smith. I don't believe Smith can handle him down inside. But he ran his mouth to him.
JR has been talking most of the game.
There's a lot of jive being said on the floor. That's immaturity, though. You got to play basketball, really, Mike. I know emotions get the most of you. It is a fierce rivalry, but you can hurt your club. I think that's why Dean took him out of the game.
Smith, I do too. And Abdelnaby comes back in as Reed sits down.
He's afraid, a little emotion to pick up that 4th foul.
Williams playing with tremendous emotion, missed that shot. Abdelnaby rebound. Tied at 45. Ferry for 3. Madden with a rebound to Davis, who's got a lot of playing time tonight. Bucknall. Davis not shy about putting it up. And Abdelnaby knocked it out of bounds, but they say it's off North Carolina to the Blue Devils.
Both these clubs have really some strong inside power people.
Williams is out. Chilcutt is back in. North Carolina, after shooting brilliantly in the first half, hitting only 14% this half. That's the defensive intensity for Duke. Ferry with an air ball. Henderson follows.
Henderson really playing well in the second half. Made a great pass before, hit an open shot, and then comes up with an offensive rebound.
Rice against Snyder. Bucknall from three-point range. Followed by Chilcutt, and Ferry with a rebound.
Not really patient on offense. Taking some bad shots right now, North Carolina. That's not typical of a Dean Smith team.
Henderson for three.
He's on fire right now, Mike. He's playing so well, as I alluded to a moment ago.
Henderson with 13, and Duke has its biggest lead.
He's a rhythm shooter, and he's got the rhythm right now. Bucknall has been non-existent.
Chilcutt, that ball was kicked by Andrews.
A point to think about, Mike. Very difficult for North Carolina. If they fall behind double figures, they don't have the kind of shooters, especially from three-point range, that leave a lot of the game.
Chilcutt after a great pass from King Rice after the cut.
That's a North Carolina offensive pattern where they like to take the ball to the wing and dump it to a post man, slide into the lane.
50-47 Duke. Good defense inside by Madden. He knocked it away, and here comes Rice. Davis inside the three-point line.
That's his strength. His ability is to shoot the jump shot.
And they may need him down the stretch without Lebo. 50-49, Blue Devils by one. 13:54 and counting from Durham, North Carolina.
What a great night of basketball on ESPN.
Snyder passed up the wide open shot, gets it to Henderson, hit the leaner.
Hey, Henderson's doing it all, Mike. He's giving him the
It's a little different.
Especially tough when you got one eye, Mike.
Not real easy with two, Dick. 52-49, Duke over North Carolina. 13:29 to go in the ball game.
North Carolina packing it down inside, trying to get that power game along the boxes in the lane.
This is Denny.
Dean trying to steal minutes in a backcourt with Denny and Davis.
Madden doesn't get the roll. Williams again, he's relentless.
That's the biggest letdown I see in college basketball. The lack of blocking out. Everybody wants to attack the ball and not find their man and get a piece of it.
Ricky wide open. Wants to go back out to Snyder and reset it. Duke by one.
Denny and Snyder in a matchup here in the backcourt.
Kubek for two. Hit the top of the backboard. It'll be out of bounds to North Carolina. Mike Krzyzewski told me about 20 minutes before the game that he thought Laettner might be a little nervous. First time against Carolina.
Why not? I'm nervous coming up here for the game. I told you that before. I said, Mike, I'm a little nervous tonight.
Duke by one.
There's pressure on the ball.
Away from the ball, a whistle and a foul. Looks like Bricky with a hold. And it is.
We use the terminology. It simply means you cut behind the defensive player. The offensive player cuts behind the defensive player.
Reed, tough shot. And Carolina goes back on top by one. 12.5 minutes to go.
J.R. Reed's going to be an outstanding power player in the NBA on the boxes.
J.R. now into double figures. Smith. Kubek had his hands on it. And Carolina will come out as Williams has been so tough underneath.
John Smith averaged double figures 2 years ago. Then his minutes really declined last year. Oh, there's a steal.
Great anticipation again. Smith missed it.
Lack of communication. Snyder should have called for the ball. He was wide open for a layup. You got to let your teammate know as a trail man. You must communicate. There's a communicator. There's a class act. There's a committer. There's a guy that's an... See, right now he's got Snyder right behind him. He doesn't see him. There's Quinn popping in the picture.
And he committed the foul out of frustration after he missed.
Always out there, if you get in transition, you high school players, let your teammates know that you're behind them by screaming and yelling as loud as you can. I'm behind you. I'm behind you.
Here's the shooting story from the free throw line. North Carolina not as good tonight, certainly at 63%, but not as good as they usually are, 71% as a team.
Well, because Jeff Lebo again on that sideline, he's going to knock him down at about a 90% ratio.
3 points tonight for Jeff Denny, the junior out of Rural Hall, North Carolina. Got the second one. Rice will come back in. Denny goes out 55-52. North Carolina by 3.
I really feel that King Rice has done an excellent job of handling the Duke's pressure because that pressure is relentless. They're constantly after you.
North Carolina did an excellent job coming back from that big run and all the momentum that Duke generated. Here's the steal.
Here goes a jam. Here goes a jam. Here goes a jam from out of the state of Virginia. Mr. Reed.
J.R. with a dozen. The lead is back to 5 for North Carolina.
Dean Smith's got to be happy the way his kids hung tough after losing the momentum.
11:33 to go in the game. North Carolina has turned it around again. They've regained the lead on Duke. Carolina leading number 1 Duke by 5.
Against Bill Foster, the former coach here at Duke, coaching Northwestern, you know they're chanting and cheering down in Champaign for North Carolina because they could be #1 in America if Duke gets beat.
North Carolina has outscored Duke 12-2 after Duke scored 9 straight points and a foul before the shot on J.R. Reed. Against J.R. Reed, really.
Player inside. He's got to add a little diversity to his game.
12 points, 7 rebounds for J.R.
You know, I was looking at the numbers of Dean Smith. You talk about amazing, Mike. We talk about the 652 W's. But how about this? 18 years winning 20. And since 1981, they've been in every Final 16, 7 Final Fours, 14 in a row, NCAA trips, 39 and 19 during NCAA play, second only to John Woodard. An amazing record.
Something out of a storybook, isn't it? 58-52.
Won a national championship, won an Olympic gold medal in '76 as the coach.
Ferry, tough shot blocked. Knocked out of bounds by Madden, and they'll call Madden for the foul.
Danny real
concerned about it.
He is a true college All-American. In every phase, class personified. He's had great coaching with Morgan Wooten down at DeMatha. Mike Krzyzewski here came very close, Dean told me today. He said, we finished #2 for Danny. He said, the problem is we're finishing #2 for a little too many, and #2 doesn't count in recruiting. I lost Kenny Anderson going out to Georgia Tech.
You don't get anything for second. And now Dean Smith getting the officials' attention, bringing them over. He wants to check something.
The foul was on Madden.
They have given the foul to J.R. Reed, which would be his 4th.
Wow, I thought they called that on. Yeah, they do. They're getting J.R. out of the game. I thought it was Madden. And
I thought it was Madden too, and that's what Dean Smith was trying to get done.
Might have been able to call it on either guy. Let's take a look right here. Now there's Reed. He's checking here. Now there's Madden coming over from the back. Now let's.
That's Reed. Reached in, got him on the arm.
Well, I guess the look was J.R.
That's a good call, but tough for Carolina. 4 fouls. Excellent shot that time by Bucknall.
Big, tough basket by Steve Bucknall. They need his help right now. He's a solid player, a good defender.
North Carolina up by 6. Under 11 minutes to go. Duke undefeated in #1, trying to hang on to that spot.
Now Steve Bucknall is playing defensively on Danny Ferry, but they switch. Both clubs do a lot of switching defensively.
Kubek. Knocked out of bounds, out to Duke.
Kubek is so frustrated. The kid is struggling. I watched him shoot yesterday in practice. Great mechanics. And the only thing a shooter can do, Mike, is just keep stroking it, stroking it.
Tried to get it to Kubek that time, and quickly down the lane came Bucknall to knock it out of bounds. When you look at Madden's statistics as we try to get ready for a ball game, it really jumps out at you. He was hitting 5.9% from three-point land. That was Henderson for 3 and cuts the lead to 3.
He's playing a lot like Johnny Dawkins right here in his second half.
I mean, 5.9% looks like a misprint. Henderson has 12 in the second half. Bucknall double team. Williams again. The tip goes, and it looked like it was Bucknall that got it.
Bucknall really has risen to the occasion in the last 5 minutes. He's playing better defensively and offensively.
10 minutes to go. Dick, you get the feeling Carolina's hanging on by its teeth. Ferry is fouled on a 3-point attempt. Williams went out, picked up the first. Here can cut the lead to 3.
Good follow through, good mental concentration, excellent rotation, good backspin. He uses the guide hand. The left hand is the guide hand. The good release, the follow through.
He's a kid with no ego. As long as his team wins, he's happy. Fox.
He's been around basketball all his life. Didn't have any babysitters, as they said. He was with Daddy at every game. His dad, a general manager with the Washington Bullets, a former NBA player, Bob Ferry.
That foul on Quinn Snyder, that's his 3rd, and both of them. Snyder, first couple of years here out of Mercer Island, Washington, was an excellent scorer. He does have the shot, but a lot like Jeff Lebo at North Carolina, when you get those additional duties, you concentrate so much on them, your shot goes away.
Well, he played with a pure point guard several years ago. Tommy Amico, one of the better defensive players that I've seen on a collegiate level, and an excellent passer.
Bucknall hits them both. The lead is back to 5.
Playing Henderson at the point right now. He's a lead guard because he thinks score as well as pass the ball. Number 3.
Ferry. Abdelnaby got caught underneath and he traveled.
Oh, he definitely walked. It was a late call by Jerry Donahue, but he definitely made the call.
9:21 left, 64-59.
See, this kid's been solid. He's been very steady. Not spectacular at all, King Rice, but making sure they get into their offense. Give it a Rice, man. Give it a Rice.
Dick, he only has 5 assists, but he hasn't made a lot of mistakes.
No, and he's controlled tempo. The big thing, he's done a good job with tempo. Like right here, see it? Tempo. Use some time.
Bucknall.
Nice
Great
pass
to Chilcutt, and he's fouled. And Danny Ferry went down again.
Down the stretch with Reed with 4. That's the big one right there. Fox with 4, but JR is the man.
Chilcutt at the line. Missed the first. 66% free throw shooting.
Dean would like to keep this lead to about the 5-minute mark and then get JR on the floor. There's the Michelangelo. What an artist at work.
And try to spread him out again like he did at the end of the first half.
He really does a job teaching at practice. Most coaches like to delegate. He's right on the floor handling every drill.
Hubert Davis, number 40, guarding Quinn Snyder, 14 for Duke. Henderson pulls up for the jumper. Out to North Carolina, off of Robert Brickey.
They've really done a better job in the last 6 or 7 minutes in defensive transition. We haven't seen many Duke layups in transition like we saw early in the second half.
Duke had that great run of 9 straight points to take the lead, but Carolina has come back strong since then. Tough pass, but Carolina maintains control. This is Davis.
They're really trying to use that clock a lot. Knock off a lot of seconds with each possession. Pass, go away, get the good motion game.
Davis blocked by Ferry. And Ferry comes limping out of that play. Davis stepped out of bounds. Danny Ferry hurt his back again.
He's been playing with a lot of pain. I really believe that.
After that last block, he was off balance and running toward the far sideline. You could tell he was hurt.
In the Maryland game, he said when he was in a locker room, he could barely bend over. The pain was so excruciating.
Mike Krzyzewski asked him if he was all right. He nodded yes.
They got to go to Leitner one time. Get him involved a little offensively. Christian Leitner.
Ferry double team, goes inside anyway, had it stuffed out of bounds. That block was by Madden, and then he turns around and looks at the player he dumped on the floor.
He's really hurting, Mike. He is really hurting. Werner, of course, said, as we said, he said, forget about it. I want to play.
Ferry keeps going down and getting up, and now Mike Krzyzewski, watch this.
There's the head fake, gets in a triple threat position. There's the rotation over in the block by Bucknell. Now look, oh, Madden, he turns around and looks at him.
Madden actually never made contact with Ferry. Ferry was bumped a little from behind, but no foul certainly on the play. And Ferry will now come out of the ball game. Looked like he was headed toward the locker room, and now he comes back. 7:57 to go in the game. He talks to Mike Krzyzewski. He doesn't want to leave, you know that.
Guarantees he'll be back on the floor again, Mike.
Henderson for 3. They need to make one of those. Down by 6, and the #1 ranked Blue Devils having a tough time.
Now watch tempo right here by King Rice. Back it up. This is what we call tempo. Control the clock. Only thing is he picks his dribble up a little too much. Here he is, back up looking at his coach. He's a little extension of Dean Smith on the floor. Spread the court.
Dean directing traffic and calling the offense. This is Chilcutt. Williams, who's had a great night.
Oh, what a play. Look at him dancing. Look at Denny. Do a little Bojangles for us, Denny, on the sideline.
Scott Williams has 16 points.
I like the leadership of King Rice, though, in that huddle. There he is in triple threat position. And he takes it. I mean, that is Hail Mary time. That's a game of horse. And look at him. I love it. I love it. Look at him. Look at him. Give me a high five. Come on now, King. Lay it on me.
Foul was on Leitner, and Williams will have a chance to go for a 3-point play.
One shot.
He was part of the California group that headed to the east. Now many of them are staying home, and that's why the Pac-10 is really back again. Pac-10, I said the other night, could have 4 teams going to the NCAA. They may have 5, but Luke Campanelli's California team joining UCLA, Stanford, Arizona.
Williams with the three-point play, and North Carolina has extended its lead to 9 with 7:21 to go.
Now watch number 21, King Rice. He's not going to beat his man, but really what they're doing is controlling tempo. Now here's the great move by Scott Williams. Across the lane, hangs in the air, converts it. And there's the coach. He's sitting next to him, the greatest point guard ever to play for North Carolina, Phil Ford.
He was the reason they could run that 4 corners.
Hey, they're playing a special defense right now. They're playing a box of 1. Look, Rice is playing Ferry. Rice is playing Ferry.
Bad pass that time by Snyder, and a good play by Fox to pick it off. The lead is 9 and Carolina's ball.
Good adjustment by Dean Smith. A little gimmick during the timeout. Look, Williams wants the ball. Please get it to me.
Great pass by Bucknall. Got it inside. They missed the shot. There's Williams again.
Well, he wanted to rock, though, Mike. He was so active inside. He was spinning to the lane for the offensive rebound with a good drop step. Now, look, they're playing a box. 4 men in a zone, and King Rice is chasing Danny Ferry.
9 rebounds for Williams. Bricky.
That's going to happen. When you play a man head-to-head, it's going to open up lanes for other people. They go right inside the Bricky, and he explodes off the box.
But not a bad idea to make somebody else beat you beside Danny Ferry.
Good call, Mr. Patrick.
Fox offensive rebound. Williams again. He's got 10 rebounds and 21 points.
They're kicking their butt on the offensive boards. They are out scrapping out, hustling Duke on the offensive boards.
72-61 as we approach 6 minutes. Kubek for 3. And the foul as Duke went for the rebound. And Kubek, after making that first shot, only his 2nd out of 18 from 3-point range in the first half, can't buy one.
Look at the offensive rebound right now. There they are working on the glass. There's Mr. Williams. He's up on the glass, number 42. He's having a night. Star of stars right now, Scott Williams. There's the team huddle.
Williams will get a breather.
Mike, I don't want to keep pointing up about playing a lot of inferior competition, but you look what Duke played all year long versus North Carolina, and you wonder if that's not really a key here tonight, because North Carolina, as we indicated earlier, has already played 6 teams in the top 20, plus another group of teams like the DePauls and the Georgias that are pretty good basketball teams. Duke has not played one top 20 team yet this year.
Chilcutt, the sophomore from Utah, Alabama, hits the free throw.
As Mike Krzyzewski, Bob Bender played in 2 Final Fours, Mr. Bender, one with Duke and one with Indiana.
Chilcutt hits again, and this is a national recruiting program, international, in fact. Players from England, Virginia, Alabama, California, Indiana, Pennsylvania, New York, and North Carolina.
Well, when both these schools call you up, you listen.
Bricky faked the 3, but they don't respect that very much from him, and this is Ferry. Ferry thought he was fouled on the way up.
Lou Henson
got the ball.
Lou Henson's doing a little dance at home right now.
Bad pass. Chilcutt with defense inside. Tips it to Madden, and Rice takes over. 5:31 left. And look out for North Carolina to slow it down.
They're going into motion game. You notice King Rice signaling motion. He wants the ball. He wants to control tempo. Use the clock. Good entry.
The foul inside as Madden is clobbered.
And that bench is jubilant. That North Carolina bench is Jubilation City.
Podcast, a special 1-hour edition of Sports Center. And we will include in our coverage all the problems that are going on in Miami with the riots and all the trouble down there pre-Super Bowl.
They did a great job last night. I was watching Chris Berman and Bob Lee. You talk about a dynamic duo and a super job all those guys are doing down in Miami. Really a fantastic group. I know they had a great Sports Center last night, and I'm sure they're going to be superb tonight.
Madden at the line. He has not scored in the second half, and he comes up way short on that one.
He hasn't played as well as he's played all year long. He has really been a dominant player at times this year.
He started with 31 points in the first game. He's been hot ever since, averaging 17-6. Short on that one, got the rebound. Reed with the rebound.
They're just beating him on the offensive boards. That's the story right now. Play by King Rice, and away they're owning the offensive boards. Look at him. He gives it up. That are in their motion game. Now Rice will pop out, trying to get the ball back.
Clock becoming a factor. We've just hit 5 minutes.
Spread the court, get good spacing offensively, get the ball in the point guard's hands. Here he is, backing it up. Leadership, leadership. That's what he's demonstrated.
Shot clock at 16, still plenty of time.
See, he'll give it up, and then he'll go hide among the trees and then pop back out for it.
Bucknall, great pass to Madden.
They're carving that defense apart. They're using a lot of time on the clock. Good entries to one another. Execution to perfection.
North Carolina's biggest lead, 15 points. Here's a reach-in foul on Fox, and that will foul Rick Fox out of the ball game with 4:24 left.
But remember, Mike, also coming in here without Lebo. I think everybody today, the consensus opinion or people I spoke to, without Lebo, playing on the road, losing 2 out of 3 games, you would think North Carolina was in big, big trouble as we look at Fox fouling out, trying to deny the ball.
But, Dick, how many times have we seen that? That a star goes down, everybody else raises their level of play.
For the one-game shot, you emotionally can get up. Where you'll miss a Jeff Lebo is for a long run. If you have to play without him for 3-4 weeks at a time. They say his ankle is really bad. He can't put any weight on it.
Ferry with that bad back misses the jump shot. Rebound goes to North Carolina. 4:14 left.
See him circling. Means get some motion offensively. Look at him loose, shake and bake now. Picks up that dribble a little too often. See, picks it up.
Davis guarded by Smith. All they're trying to do is work time off the clock. J.R. Reed guarded by Ferry. He kicks it back out.
Rice uses that bounce pass well.
Reed walked.
Yeah, he does that quite often, lifting that pivot foot when he tries to make that change of direction.
And Dean Smith didn't like Carolina. In the last 6 minutes has outscored Duke 12-2 and is very close to putting this one away with a 15-point lead.
Quieted this crowd. This crowd is not like it was early, that's for sure.
Snyder threw the ball into the lane. There was nobody home, but Carolina blew.
Can't get any execution. Not making anything happen with their defense either, Mike.
Reed set a big screen in backcourt for Henderson.
So they're going to spread the court now, isolate one-on-one, and try to get the layups down in the boxes, kick it back out. This is North Carolina at its best.
And Duke is going to have to start fouling.
They're going to have to start trapping, and that's going to leave people open for layups.
Bucknall, shot clock is down to 15.
Spreading the court, eliminating the double team with the 15 to 17 feet spread.
Madden got caught up in the air. Snyder made the steal. Here's Bricky.
He's amazing. He's an amazing dunker.
He can really explode. And that slam cuts the lead to 13. Duke has had trouble shooting. Henderson only 3 out of 12. Coming in, he was almost a 43% three-point field goal shooter. And there, Dick, is the key, King Rice.
Yes, he's been so effective. We said early in the show he must be effective against their pressure. He's only scored 6 points, only 5 assists, 4 turnovers. Not great numbers, but he's done a great job getting the ball when he's had to get it up the court against the pressure and bringing it to the wing to where they can get the entry to their people inside. And plus, he's done a good job controlling tempo.
Full court press here. Reed double team.
Got to look to post somebody in the middle of the court.
Here's the steal. Bricky off to Snyder, and here's that Duke pressure defense. They've cut it to 11.
They used the big guy on a baseline.
Ferry trying to catch up with Williams and doesn't. Goes down hard.
I'd get it intentional.
They're not going to call it intentional. He reached around and got by Danny Ferry.
We have not seen the real Danny Ferry tonight.
No way.
This kid is playing a half step behind his normal pace, but his guts and his fortitude are just outstanding.
Williams, who has been the star for North Carolina, short on the free throw. 76-65, 2:39 to go. Still plenty of time.
Here's where Strickland comes in handy. Last year, able to hit that three-point shot. Right now, they got to knock down some threes.
And they may have to look more to Quinn Snyder, who has been, during his career, an excellent outside shooter. This year, hitting under 30%, though.
Not even looking at the basket, Mike.
Will free throws be a factor? 77-65.
Rice playing head-to-head on Henderson, knowing that he can shoot the three, number 3.
Henderson leans into it, headed blocked by Williams, and here comes Rice.
Watch him back it up. Oh, he's going to go.
He's fouled by Snyder. That's a good foul by Snyder, but it's his 4th.
He's so strong with the basketball, King Rice. He just looks like...
It has been a troubled couple of days in South Florida. Rice hits the first. He'll have another. It's 78-65.
Little Bucknall talking the crowd a little bit. Free throw shooting so vital in college basketball. basketball success. Just ask Jimmy Boeheim up at Syracuse. There's the bench. They love it.
Lead is back to 14. Ferry for 3. Air ball. He's way off tonight. Been limited to 4 points in the second half. Ahead of the pack. Man.
Good night. And then he waves at him. He says, good night. Celebrated Chapel Hill.
Ricky couldn't stop it. The lead back to 16, approaching 2 minutes. Snyder. Ricky, offensive rebound.
North Carolina's been a better basketball team here tonight, Mike.
They sure have, Dick.
They've played such an impressive schedule this year.
Here's the foul on Leitner.
In their front court. We talked about early on the top of the show. This makes you go back a little bit more to the film room, evaluate, analyze, and find your weaknesses. The loss now, as Mike said, this is January, Dick. This isn't the biggest game of the year, but it's a big game because of the tremendous pride between both institutions.
Well, tonight it's the biggest game of the 9,300 people who are here and a few others watching the game.
And all those down in Chapel Hill who are dancing right now, ready to celebrate at the Four Corners out on Franklin Street.
Not to mention how big it is in Illinois. 1:51 left. The lead is 16. The #1 team in the country going down to defeat, losing by 16 points with 1:51 to go. And Dick, you talked about the two front courts of these clubs.
Well, I felt North Carolina has the best front court in the nation with Michigan 2, Duke 3, Illinois 4, and Louisville 5 with Purvis Ellison, Kimbrough, Payne, Dalton Spencer.
Leitner had it partially blocked. Williams got a hand up in his face. Rice using Jerry Donahue to get around Henderson.
Look at Rice. Look at Rice. He loves it. He loves the PT he got tonight. He said, I'm playing like a PTP here, Dick Bite. Frenches like he did the other day. He was scary. Illinois would battle Anderson and certainly Lowell Hamilton. They bring Marcus Liberty off the bench. We saw him several years ago, the #1 high school player in the United States. I can see Lou Henson right now. He's dancing at home. The Lou Do's on. He's doing his little disco. He said, we're #1, baby. All we have to do is beat Northwestern now. We're #1.
Rice is 7 of 8 from the line, make it 8 of 9, and the lead grows to 18 points.
It's hard to believe that this North Carolina team was humiliated as late as the deuce by Virginia the way they were.
Just thinking the same thing. Worst defeat they suffered in 20 years. Leitner with a dive trying to get the steal, picks up the foul.
College basketball, and he has a great leader to work with. Gene Corrigan, the former Notre Dame athletic director, replaces, well, follows Bob James, who did a great job in the ACC. It's certainly a class conference. You can use that word class a lot with these clubs.
It certainly fits.
Kids graduate. You know, Dean Smith, 164 kids that have played for him, Letterman, an amazing number. And then you've looked 25 of them were coaches or teachers, but he's so proud of those that have become lawyers and doctors. It's amazing what his players have become after their career at North Carolina.
Rice scores again. Snyder all the way, had it partially blocked. And here's a foul on the follow.
Mike Krzyzewski. He has such a positive way with the players as you're looking at the stress. Danny Ferry, he'll have many, many bright moments before this season is over. Numbers certainly don't match up to his numbers. Been a little disappointed, but they'll be back. These two guys get along so well, Snyder and Ferry off the court.
Things just will not go right for Duke in the second half after they had that 9-0 run at the beginning of the half and grabbed the lead. Rice bounces it off his knee right to Bucknall, and then Henderson commits the
play. And is that game over with the people over at the Zoo Crew down in Northwestern? I guess that game's at Northwestern.
And that ought to be #2 with an asterisk beside Illinois, with Duke losing tonight.
There are a lot of people felt coming into the game that Illinois was the best team in the country. After watching them, many people that saw them against Michigan said it was so impressive.
Bucknall hit the free throw, trying to make it a 20-point lead, and does. 89-69. Denny will come in, and Bucknall will come out at the end of the ball game. Scott Williams with that big smile, had such a brilliant night.
Well, he'll be ready for the media now. They're all here. All the giants of the media, the Dickie Rices, the Bill Grills. They're all in town. John Feinstein, everybody's here tonight.
Leitner tries to loop it inside, and that's Palmer, who's made his Palmer, freshman out of Arlington, Virginia.
He's been rated very high by Howard Garfinkel at 5-star camp. They think he's going to be a very good player eventually here at Duke.
Denny and North Carolina will try to play keep away for the final 38 seconds.
Celebrating. You should celebrate tonight, Mr. Rice, because the biggest problem with high school stars coming into the collegiate game is living up to expectations. And then many of them, Mike, can't blend. They can't go from being Uno number 1 to becoming the 3rd and 4th option, and it becomes a difficult transition.
And when you come to North Carolina, Dick, you can count the guys who have started as freshmen on the fingers of one hand, so it's even a more difficult transition.
Look at a smile on JR. He deserves to smile.
Davis makes it a 20-point lead again with 37 seconds to go. And this will get the Tar Heels back in the ACC race at 2-1.
I'll tell you, club, people better watch in the ACC. North Carolina State, that backcourt is sensational. Forgiani and Monroe.
A little ragged in the final 30 seconds, but effort there by everybody.
Little walk right there. He rolled on the floor with the ball.
I know what the officials are thinking. They don't want to blow the whistle. They want to get it over with.
They said, let's go out and have some coffee. Yeah, baby. Let's get out of here.
Denny will bring it back outside. And North Carolina has played a tremendous basketball game tonight and knocked off the previously undefeated Blue Devils 91-71. Quite a show, Dick.
They were sensational. King Rice did a great job. There's a class guy. There's a star of stars right now. They're celebrating in Champaign. They know they have a great chance to be the #1 team in America.
And another reason Carolina wanted this, they lost 3 times last year to Duke. Our final score, North Carolina 91, Duke 71. For Dick Vitale and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike.